So I'm probably making this video a little bit way late, but I was kind of like thinking of something that's gonna kind of like be fitting around this particular subject. By now you've seen that Kirk had passed on, Charlie Kirk, who used to do like debates and so forth, like concerning things within society. But he did those discussions on the basis of his Christian faith. There's been a lot of people online. I even saw some South African content creators and people who are not content creators mocking his passing and saying, "Oh yeah, you got, yeah." So there was a lot of that, and people who had something to say. Bear in mind, Kirk never went up to anybody with a gun. He never went out and said people should believe this. What he did was he spoke about how people spoke about fairness while they were being unfair. How people thought it was logical when they were doing what was illogical. And so, and to think, you think a person who would have that discourse was deserving to be killed like that. It's an interesting thing. I find it quite interesting that a person who wasn't violent, people think he deserved violence. But I'll show you even a different case. There was a guy that I used to follow. He got me very much into apologetics. Unfortunately, the video, I don't have the video on this thingy. I have the video in the hard drive. There's a guy by the name of Nabil who was an Islam convert. And he became an apologist, a Christian apologist on the subject matter of Islam. And that's all he did. He went out, had conversations with people concerning that. Nabil got sick and to a point of being in hospital. He posted videos all the way up until the last week, I think when he had like a couple of days. And he made a video and he said goodbye to everybody and he passed. And even when he was on that deathbed, I can tell you right now, there were people that were cussing at him. They were telling him that Allah had killed him and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. The very people that he was kind of like communicating about why the things that probably they believed he didn't believe it, and why he left it. Basically, he majored on Islamic apologists and all those kind of things. And so I wanted to talk about this on this particular tone of people celebrating that and people thinking they are justified in that celebration. The Bible warns about a certain type of state of heart in the end time. And you might be subject to this state of heart. Matthew chapter number 24, verse number 11 to 12 says, many false prophets will rise up and mislead many. Now, many people read that and that's about it. But you got to read verse 12. It will tell you what is it that the false prophets cause out of the people. The verse goes out and it says, because of the multiplication of wickedness, how terrible wickedness becomes. So meaning the rate at which people are willing to display their wickedness. Because of that, the love of many will wax cold. The Bible warns about the state of your heart. So you see, you thinking, yeah, he deserves that. Also, yeah, you are displaying what that verse is saying. You're displaying a sign of the end time. Unfortunately, it has happened to you that your heart is one of those that will grow cold. Grow cold. And that's where your heart is. Why? Because you see, just as much as we can say about the young man who thought he was in the right, your state of being wrong, in wrong, thinking you're right, it's no different, possibly, to the guy who did it. Put up this verse. Matthew chapter number 24, if you go to verse 9, it says, and all these things shall be the beginning of birth pains. It says, and then they will deliver you over to be persecuted and killed, and you will be hated by nations because of my name. And that's what Kirk is hated for, because he spoke on Christian values, and you are displaying your hatred for Christian values, because that's all he did. He discord. He had a conversation about things. I saw someone saying, making a joke about how he died over his advocacy for people being armed, and saying, oh yeah, and that's the thing that took him out. Oh. It's part of their constitution. You know that, right? You know what the constitution is, right? The constitution is the thing that gives the citizens rights. And so the citizens, yes, should have rights. In America, the rules are a little bit too loose. In South Africa, the rules are way too tight. In South Africa, the rules are too tight for the one who wants to do things legally. Whereas in America, the rules are too loose for those that want to do. So he wasn't saying anything wrong. He wasn't saying something that's contrary to his constitutional right or to the average person, even the one who says they don't want it. The verse tells you right here is that the hearts of people grow cold because of false things that you start to believe, and falsehoods and all these kind of things. Your heart grows cold to a point where to you it's justified. Now, the reason why I brought up the subject matter of Nabil is because Nabil was just the same. He wasn't violent. He used to expose the violence and all these things. And in his dialogue, when he was in the hospital, you can go back to videos in 2017 when Nabil was about to die and stuff like that, and you'll see people's direct hatred for him on his deathbed. Why? The Bible tells you the hearts of people grow cold. I'll say examine yourself. The likelihood is you're going to watch this and think things is better. No. You see, right there you've just displayed that your heart is so dead, corrupted, that you don't even know. You've lost track of what right is. It's discourse. If you can't get into discord, where does the issues lie? Have you read 1984? There's movies that were made over it and whatnot and stuff like that. This thing, that's exactly what you're advocating. You're advocating that a thought police, which is the thing that that George Orwell was writing about. It's the thought police. Is that we are not allowed to think contrary to you. You are dangerous. You are dangerous. And your heart has grown so cold that you would make a justified argument over something like that. Now, the Bible tells us to examine ourselves. If you don't think you should examine your heart, I'm telling you, your heart is dead cold. There was a guy right after Kirk got shot who didn't have any understanding of what was happening. The moment he got shot, he was fist pumping. That's a very terrible state of heart. And don't think God does not judge people with that terrible state of heart. You need God, bruv. But in our society, you can see it's been made to look as if it's something to be admired. Like to a point where someone who's non-violent gets killed by a violent person. And people are saying, that's good. If that does not shake you, if that does not tell you that you, I'm not even talking about it, you who justifies that, if that does not tell you something about the state of your heart, I don't know what will. Spirituality Show with daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes down today, they'll be down in the pinned comments. Turn back. Because the judgment for this type of people, you don't want that. I'm telling you, because the Bible was predicting the state of people's hearts. It says because of the multiplication of wickedness, the things you would have had to accept, meaning there's so many wrong things you have accepted to come to the point where a wrong thing like that becomes justified. The Bible says that even predicts that there will be people in the end time who will kill other people because they think they do service to God. And you think it is justified for someone innocent to be killed who's done nothing wrong but have discourse. That's a very scary state of heart. Examine yourself. You might want to examine yourself when you can justify that in your heart. For some people, it's not vocal. But if you can justify that, your heart is too far. Too far.